Welcome back. Today I'm going to do a review of my ESP Ltd SN 1000 EverTune. As you can see, it's got the EverTune bridge and then an HSS configuration consisting of the Pegasus bridge pickup and two Hot for Strat single coils with all of that good 60 cycle hum. Next we've got stainless steel frets, which is all the rage these days. It also has scalloped frets from the 17th to the 22nd, only 22 frets. And we have a roasted one-piece maple neck, and we have an alder body. I bought this guitar in February of 2024. We're 2 months away from me owning it for 2 years, and I'm going to tell you everything I love about it and the problems I had when I first got it. The day I received this guitar, I was very disappointed. It had a lot of fret buzz, the action was average, and I had numerous high frets. The high frets were causing the fret buzz. I did put a fret rocker on here and I could confirm that they were high. I immediately called Sweetwater, talked to my guy, and I said, look, this guitar was $1,500. It's got frets on it that aren't even level. I don't want to keep it, so I want to return it. And he was like, okay, and he said, would I like another one? They said they had more in stock. And I said, yeah, I would like another one, but if you send me another guitar and the frets aren't level on it, I'm just going to send it right back to you. And he said, okay, he was going to talk with the service department and have them open one up, see how it is, all that type of stuff. Anyway, the service department told me they opened 2 more boxes and they were the same. The next one was the same and so was the third one. So then they offered to give me a one-time free plec. And I was like, you know what, I want this guitar, so let's try it. Let's see how it'll be. So then I received the plecked version. The guitar is phenomenal. The action, 04 and 03 inches, 12th fret, amazing. Intonation, amazing. That's a combination of an incredible fret job and the EverTune system. But I'll tell you what's not amazing. If you would have spent $1,500 and then had to turn around and spend $400, you're spending $1,900. With taxes, you're spending $2,000. Do you really want to spend $2,000 on a Korean guitar? I don't think you do. You could have just called Kiesel and got a USA-made guitar that would have had proper fretwork to begin with. So I am pretty disappointed that the guitar arrived the way it was and that multiple guitars like it were in the same condition. Because you shouldn't be plecking brand new guitars. You just shouldn't. I mean, unless your factory does it that way. If that's your build procedure, such as, hey, we're going to do half-ass fretwork, but we're going to run them through plec machines before we send them out, cool, fine with me. Every plecked guitar I've played plays great, but that should be part of the price point to begin with, not an afterthought, such as, yeah, here's your guitar, Jeff. It's going to buzz like fuck all unless you get a plec on it. That's not a good business model. And that also goes back to what I was saying about frets in my other video, where I was saying, hey, do you want nickel silver or do you want shitty frets? And that's not what I meant. I love stainless steel frets, but I want good quality fretwork, whether it's stainless steel, whether it's nickel silver, Evo frets, whatever it is, I want good fretwork. So my advice on this specific model guitar, and maybe some other ESP Ltds, I don't know, is that only buy it from a place that has a return policy, because who knows what you're going to get. I know that some of these have high frets, and I wouldn't want it. Not at that price point. And another thing, I mean, in the 80s, my very first electric guitar I got was around $145, and it had perfect frets, and it was made in a Chinese sweatshop somewhere probably, where people were cracking whips and people were dying. Like, I don't know how many people died to make my first guitar, but a lot of them probably died. So, but the frets were level. That's probably from all the whipping. They hit you enough, you're gonna make those frets level, right? Anyway, I'm getting way off topic with this. What was I even talking about? All right, now I'd like to talk a little bit about the pickups that came with this guitar. The Pegasus, I love it. It does heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, whatever you want to do. If you're metaling, it power metals, no problem. However, keep in mind, I've reviewed this only being in the key of E. I would imagine tuned down it would sound really good because there is some bass shelving, it seems like. And I imagine that this pickup was originally designed for a 7-string or an 8-string. I think it was, actually, now that I think about it. So it might sound even better tuned down. And the reason I'm leading up to that is I feel like the guitar is a bit bright sounding. These single coils absolutely sound like single coils, and I really want this to sound more like Yngwie Malmsteen, but it doesn't. It's like, it needs to sound a little more vintage. By the way, the ones Yngwie uses aren't true single coils, they're double stacks that kill the hum. This is giving you all the hum. And it does give you a Strat sound, but I just wish it was a little more Stratty, you know what I mean? So anyway, while I had the guitar, I ordered some bare knuckle pickups and I threw them in. And it was the Holy Diver and the Trilogy set. Again, you know, going for some Dio and some Yngwie Malmsteen. However, when I put those in here, the guitar was even brighter. Like, it was too damn bright. So I pulled those right back out and put these back in. I thought they sounded better in the guitar than those pickups. Not to knock those pickups, I bet those pickups probably sound better in a different guitar. Keep in mind, I am in the key of E. Tuning down is completely different on pickups. Also, EverTune keeps an endless tension on the strings, which I think makes the guitar sound a little bit brighter in general. So that needs to be considered when discussing tone and was it bright, was it thick, was it not? Because how much your string is oscillating, which is based on your tension, will change your tone. All right, I'm going to take a minute to talk about the EverTune. The EverTune is an interesting system. This is the first guitar I've ever had with one, and for a while there I thought about just getting rid of it. I was like, you know what, I don't really need this. Hip shot's fine, but damn if I have never tuned this the entire time I've owned it, at all. In fact, let me tell you something that's totally insane. Remember I said I threw some bare knuckle pickups in here to try them out? Well, when I did that, I took all the strings off, changed the pickups out, and I actually changed all the damn electronics. Put them in, threw the exact same strings on, and didn't even tune the guitar. It was still in tune because the mechanism within the system, the tension was already set, and I put the exact same strings on, and it was still in tune. Like, it's completely insane to take your strings off, put them back on, and still be in tune. Now, granted, if you put some new strings on, that would be different, the tension would be different, but there were strings that had been on there for a while, and it was still in tune. Makes no sense. I will say some other things about the EverTune bridge. I really love it. It's very smooth on the hand. When I do black metal, this is the guitar for black metal, let me tell you. Like, and I know you wouldn't think that. It looks like it's meant for something more progressive or something more vintage or something that's bridging those gaps. It's not. If you go to do strumming, tremolo picking, that covers multiple strings at once, this bridge is insanely comfortable. Like, I can do riffs on it that I couldn't do previously on other guitars. So I welcome this into my life, and I'm very happy to have the guitar, and I don't plan on getting rid of this one. And if you look through my collection, or if you've ever seen any of my videos, you'll see I'll have certain guitars and then certain ones disappear, like the Ironbird. It's not here anymore. Because if the guitar's not working out for me, I usually end up getting rid of them. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Unless I found something just like it but had even better tone, then I would consider it. But at current, this is my favorite guitar for a lot of stuff because it's always in tune, it always sounds good, and it black metals so damn well. And let me bring that up again. I know I keep mentioning black metal. And the reason I do is because I know it's all cult and broken as fuck, right? But if you're doing full-on chords past the 12th fret, it's full strumming, right? The intonation's perfect on this guitar. And it's one of the only guitars I've ever played that had just incredibly perfect intonation past this area. So I'm doing black metal chording up here, and it sounds amazing. And you could never get that on a guitar that had screwed up intonation or whatever else. It just, fuck, it does this shit so good. So I guess I need to address the scalloped frets. And it is kind of silly, right? An EverTune guitar with scalloped frets, because scallops are supposed to help you with bending on a guitar that you're not going to do any bending. However, that is a myth. You can bend all day on an EverTune, but what's funny is you do bending. It's kind of like riding a bicycle with training wheels. You go up perfectly to the perfect pitch you want to go to. And what I mean is, when the guitar is set up in zone 2, you're not doing any bending. Good luck with doing any vibrato. You're not going to hear it. Every bit of movement you do, this bridge right here counteracts it immediately, and it doesn't happen. However, if you set it to zone 3 and then go back, just a tiny bit back from zone 3, so you're just sitting in between them, you can do these just perfect bends that always land exactly on the note. It's quite fun, actually. It'll make you sound better than you are, or it'll make you sound more computeristic than you are. And there's good and bad for that. I'm sure people have all kinds of arguments as to why they like it or why they don't like it or whatever. Doesn't matter. Something else about EverTune I should mention too is when you're learning to set it up, it takes some tricks, but once you get it, it's very easy. When you put the tuner in there to tune it, it's kind of like having a mini whammy bar in there. Bend it back and forth a little too, you should, because you want to make sure it's actually staying where it's at, so move it a little, turn it a little more, move it a little more. When you set the intonation, your tuning will change. So set your intonation, go back and fix the tuning, reset your intonation. You might have to do that a few times, but once you have it set, it's set forever. It's endless. It's really an amazing system. I honestly did not think I would like it at this level, and I could see it being way more useful in a low tuning than how I'm currently using it, which is I kept it in E the whole time I've had it. But if this was in C sharp, it would probably be really amazing to hold those low tunings, to hold those oscillations much tighter. That's another thing too, you know, now that I think about it, when you're picking on it, your hand, you're strumming when you're when you're doing all that, your pick kind of bounces off the string because the tension is doing this counter tension the whole time, and it's really cool, and it in some ways makes me play better when I play on this guitar than some of my other guitars. However, a lot of riffs I play, I use massive bending, so I still like playing my other guitars for the massive bending, because this does not bend the same way the other guitars bend. It'll bend, but it bends differently. And if you're massively into vibrato, you're not going to get much vibrato out of it to begin with. Just, even if you're in between zone 2 and 3, vibrato is very limited. Alright, so I don't know what kind of amp you would be plugging into, and that matters when you're trying out guitars. Amps sound different, different pickups sound different in different amps. My experience with this guitar in my Helix, love it. It sounds really, really good in the Helix. In my Engel, which is sitting over there, it's a Fireball 20, it sounds really, really good in that amp too. I did not like it in my Laney AOR that much. It was kind of it was whatever. I really like it in the Helix though, because when I plug it into the Helix, it becomes just a real black metal machine, for me anyway. In fact, check out, I did a cover of a 1349 song a little while back, a playthrough, and man, it was just incredible playing that song with this guitar.